If you're thinking about making a move to Kentucky, you need to know the things that make our state so unique. Coming up, we're going to go over the 7 things that you should know before moving to Kentucky. Hi, I'm Cameron with the Berens Team, your Northern Kentucky real estate agents, and today we're going to go over 7 things that you might not know, but definitely should know before moving to the state of Kentucky. If you have any questions at all, our contact information is on the screen here. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So starting things off with probably the most important thing to talk about when it comes to living in Kentucky is proximity. Proximity within the state and around the state. So Kentucky actually borders 7 states. And when it comes to location with other areas, other major cities, you're within a 2 to 4 hour drive to places such as Cincinnati, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Nashville, Tennessee, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, all places that you can easily get to with a less than a day's drive. And then proximity within the state of Kentucky, you've got 3 major sections, the triangle that a lot of people think about when they think of Kentucky. You've got Northern Kentucky area right across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio, which if you wanted to pinpoint a city, you could say maybe Covington or Florence. And then down Interstate 71, you get to Louisville, Kentucky, and then down Interstate 75, you've got Lexington, Kentucky. So these are some of the most 3 populated areas in the state of Kentucky. The number 2 thing that you'll want to know before moving to the state of Kentucky is about sports. So no, we don't have a professional football team, baseball team, or basketball team, but that doesn't mean sports isn't something to be excited about in the state of Kentucky. We have college sports with possibly one of the best in-state rivalries between the University of Louisville and the University of Kentucky. Some other notable colleges with sports teams would be WKU, NKU, and EKU. And then we can't forget about the most exciting 2 minutes in sports with the Kentucky Derby.
For the inside! Oh my goodness! The longest shot has won the Kentucky Derby!
At Churchill Downs in Louisville, and then some other notable horse racing tracks would be Keeneland in Lexington, Kentucky, and Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky. The 3rd thing you must know before moving to Kentucky is about our weather. In the state of Kentucky, you will experience all 4 seasons, and it's a running joke that sometimes you'll experience all 4 seasons in the same day. Especially in the winter, it's not uncommon. You'll go out to your car needing to layer up with your big jacket and your beanie and all that, and then at the end of the day, you walk out to your car and you're sweating hot and have to take it all off because the temperature has fluctuated so much throughout the day. Also, the Kentucky weather can be very unpredictable. But the good news about it is experiencing all those 4 seasons. So in the spring, you'll get to see the blossoming of flowers. In the summer, we'll average in the 80s, high 80s, sometimes in the 90s. Very rarely will we get to triple digits, but that makes for fun outdoor activities and swimming. In the fall, you'll get to see the changing of the leaves, the colors and the leaves falling. And in the winter, you get to experience snow. Not an unnecessary amount where it's going to be annoying, but you are going to experience some snow. We'll hit the 20s, sometimes in the teens, very rarely in the single digits, not factoring in wind chill. But you do get to experience, and you need to be prepared for, whether it's with your clothing or just mentally preparing for the unexpected, the weather in Kentucky. The 4th thing you must know before moving to Kentucky is about our transportation. Kentucky as a whole is a very vehicle-dependent living area. We do not have very many options for public transportation or transportation outside of yourself. So unless you're in an area like the Northern Kentucky area, the Louisville area, or the Lexington area where there'll be more public transportation and it's more densely populated areas, not only is there not very good public transportation, there's also not very many options for taxis, Ubers, or Lyfts because you're getting in more rural areas. The further you get away from those major areas, the more your options are limited. So again, if you don't have a vehicle, I recommend getting one, or if you're just not interested in one, then you really need to talk with your real estate agent or really do some research, deep diving into areas where it's not as vehicle dependent, because again, we have a lot of rural areas in our state and not as much public transportation. The number 5 thing that you must know before moving to the state of Kentucky is about our outdoors. If you're someone that loves the great outdoors, you're gonna love the state of Kentucky because it doesn't matter where you're at. Even if you're in a city like Lexington or Louisville, you can be in a short trip to some sort of place to go hiking, biking, camping, fishing, boating. There's plenty of options in our state. We've got Lake Cumberland, which is a massive lake that you could take your your boat out on. They have boats you can rent, or you can just be like me and have a friend with a boat and enjoy the lake life. You also have the Natural Bridge, Red River Gorge, Big Bone Lick State Park, Mammoth Cave, plenty of places and no shortage of outdoor activities no matter where you live in the state of Kentucky. It truly is one of my favorite parts. Myself and my family, we love to go hiking and just be outside in the state of Kentucky. The number 6 thing that you must know before moving to Kentucky is about our hunting and wildlife. Kentuckians love to hunt and fish. Whether you're hunting deer, turkey, squirrel, and more, or whether you're fishing for some catfish or bass or any other number of fish in the area, it is something that's very popular, and there are no shortage of places to do this. And if you're someone that's thinking, I don't like to hunt or fish, I'm not even sure how I feel about hunting. Well, something else you should know is that in our area, there are more deer and turkey per capita than any other place in the United States. So the hunting culture in this state is not necessarily a bad thing, because if you've been in this area for any extended period of time, you've undoubtedly dealt with this probably more than once, where you've been driving across a road, and it doesn't even have to be a country road. It can be a major road or an interstate, and you'll see deer running across the road, and you have that gut-wrenching moment where you narrowly miss hitting a deer, or the car in front of you does, because there are so many deer in the area. So it really does help keep the population under the control, not something you have to be into at all. And the number 7 thing that you must know before moving to the state of Kentucky is about our housing. Of course, I have to talk about how our housing is some of the more affordable housing in the country. And that's why many people choose to live in our state rather than one of the 7 bordering states, because of our affordable housing, whether you're looking to buy or rent. When it comes to the sales side of things, the average home value in the state of Kentucky as a whole is around $200,000. Now, again, if you're going to be in a major city or a more developing area or maybe desirable school district, you're definitely going to be in the 300,000s and up, but on average, we're about 200,000, which may get you a smaller home or more rural area. And then when it comes to rent, we come in about $700 less than the national average for rent in our state at $1,300 a month. And I'll put some examples on the screen here of what that could get you. Again, it depends on the area and what you're looking for, but on average, we definitely come in lower and you get more house for your money in the state of Kentucky. So there you have it, 7 things you must know before moving to the state of Kentucky. We hope this information was helpful. Please subscribe, comment below, and as always, if you're thinking about making a move in or around the Kentucky area, let the Berens team help you today, and we look forward to talking to you soon.